Hi there, everybody. Steve the Amateur Historian coming to you from the open. Yes, there's just never anybody here. Milwaukee Pioneer Cemetery. This is just where I'm starting at. My neck and back have been stiff the last couple of days. It could either be related to posture. I definitely think posture plays a role. And I also just, start the live streaming that my brain just turns to mush. Got some famous people here. Hector Campbell has a school in town named after him. Died 1873. It's the bus I would have been taking. But also, a few nights ago, I just kind of tweaked my neck in a funny way, and it just didn't feel right. So I may just be recovering from that. And I'm like, I have full range of motion, all that stuff. Nothing indicating to me that I seriously hurt myself. I just walked through a cobweb. That's how rare it is that anybody's here. So I'm just monitoring it. If I need to, I may go see. I need to schedule an appointment with my doctor anyway. But it's a little overgrown now. But here's where the Walsh family is buried. I haven't been here since I did my video on Mamie Walsh. This is where Michael Walsh and I forget the mother's name. And then I'm going to be heading up to Sellwood after this, which is, literally right up there. Here's Mamie Walsh's. There's bugs all over the place. Born 1878, died 1892. Look at all the bugs. She was the focal subject of a video I did that if you haven't seen it on my channel, I recommend it, called The Girl in the Strawberry Patch, which is the story of Mamie Walsh, who was murdered somewhere between a little ways over there and a little ways over there. And it's still, technically they got a guy, but I don't think he was the killer personally. So some of the Llewellings are, who they own this land. In fact, one of the Llewellings, I don't think it was Alfred. I think it was, what's the other famous Llewelling? Seth Llewelling, he had a house in the middle of downtown, and he also has an elementary school named after him. But he ran, this used to be all orchards and fruit growth. And yeah, the Bing Cherry was established out here. It was actually, he named it after a guy named Ah Bing, who was, I forget his position, but he worked for him. He was an immigrant from China. We got a Woodman of the World guy here. And so that's why the Bing Cherry has its name. Now, the interesting thing is that's interesting. Now, while the guy that I personally believe killed Mamie Walsh is not buried here, he's buried at Riverview, like he deserves to be buried in a nice cemetery. Multiple members of his family are buried right here and just getting hidden in the brush. So this is the grave of his mother. What was it? Mary, and it even says our mother on the top. Mary I forget what her last name was, and I can't really get to it. And here's Willard C. Harvey. There's even it says infant born Harvey here. Actually, I don't think I saw this last time. Infant Ida something. And then it actually says Nathan Harvey there, born 1890 something. Oh yeah, because they had a child that died in infancy in 1891, I think. But yeah, you can even see Nathan Harvey right there. Oh, to Ida. Ida was his wife. So it was the infant of Ida and Nathan Harvey. So that infant was also buried here. I believe most hidden in here is Michael Harvey. Was it Michael? God, I think I studied this case. There's so many cobwebs out here. None of this was here. You could get pretty close to these, but this is the other brother, his grave. And as the story goes, he snapped one night, killed his mother and then killed himself, but a lot of people, myself included, think Nathan Harvey may have been involved in that. And Willard Harvey actually died just a little ways over there where Johnson Creek comes out of the Willamette. He drowned in about 2 feet of water. Nobody really knows what happened. A little bit suspicious. However, I don't really think Nathan Harvey was involved in that because Nathan Harvey was not even living here yet. They all moved here from Iowa. So again, if you haven't seen my Girl in the Strawberry Patch video, I worked really hard on it. I think it's one of my best productions, and I think y'all should go see it. I actually think I found some stuff related to that case that I don't think other people have even found yet. Connections. Like I discovered, and I've never seen anybody else has talked about this case, make note of it. I discovered that Nathan Harvey's family, when he was younger, and the guy that snapped and amidst psychosis admitted he killed her, they both, prior to living here and being practically neighbors, lived only a couple miles apart in Iowa. What are the odds of that? Which leads me to think that Harvey's family knew their family, and Harvey probably manipulated that guy, his name was Charles Wilson, into confessing. In fact, there was even a report I saw once that said that Nathan Harvey went and visited Charles Wilson, I think it was Charles Wilson, while he was in prison, or he was in jail. He had just been arrested on this case. They had nobody, and all of a sudden they had this guy. And Nathan Harvey went and visited him. And then a little while later, maybe within hours, Charles Wilson admits, after pleading his innocence, suddenly admits he did it. Little strange. Just saying. So, anyway, brief visit to the Milwaukee Pioneer Cemetery. I knew I was going to be passing it, but I'm also live streaming, and I know my battery's only going to last so long, so closes at 7 p.m. There's never been anybody else here when I'm here. It's crazy. I mean, I know it's kind of up here. It's not really in a residential area, but there's a walking path here. People walk through here. Now I'm going to start heading this way towards Sellwood. My original plan was to walk around Oak Grove again and kind of show you some parts of my hometown that I hadn't shown in the previous video I did. The main reason I'm out live streaming is twofold. It's, first off, it's a little better. First off, I need to get out and get some physical activity in me. I haven't been doing a very good job about that. And it'll help me as I'm trying to limber up again. But beyond that, I live streamed the other night. I thought I was going to be able to get resolution to my MacBook problem. And I'm pretty convinced, which I should have considered this in the first place, that this particular thing that started happening when I try to boot up has happened 2 other times. And both times I had to buy a replacement cord. Because it's the cord that runs, I think, from your hard drive to your startup disk. And this would be the 3rd time I've had to replace it. I've already bought the cord. It should be here maybe today, more likely tomorrow. So I'm losing a whole week. So there's no way I'm going to have the video I was going to have done this Saturday done. There's just no way. Especially since, the earliest I'm probably going to get it is tomorrow. Then I work Thursday. And then Friday, my wife's family's having their infamous Halloween party. And I will be attending that and partying. So literally, I'd have the first time I'd have even to work on a video would probably be Saturday. So I'm out here live streaming now for my health, but I'm also trying to just be nice and put more stuff on my channel because there's not going to be. And if I make it through the Halloween party all right, which most times when I've attended these Halloween parties, I end up getting real messed up. But if I come away okay, maybe Saturday I'll do another live stream like this. And that will hopefully compensate for the fact that just, it is what it is. I literally I can't work on anything right now. I have the same software on my wife's computer. I can edit something on there, but the thing is I have nothing. First of all, her computer is substantially slower than mine. It takes forever to edit on there. I still wouldn't even have a video done, probably, by Saturday, even if I went home and spent all day today and all day tomorrow working on something, which, since I'm trying to strengthen up, the last thing I want to do is spend 2 full days sitting on my ass. It's another thing, is they said something that can really adversely affect your posture, other than the fact that I've been sitting on my computer like this forever, is sitting on, very cushioned surface. And the cushioning on my futon that I usually sit on is fairly firm, but it's, it's still cushioning. Sitting on that all the time, it can kind of, jank up your back. And so I'm just hoping I can alleviate this. There's nothing more annoying to me than what feels like essentially pain for the sake of pain is kind of what it feels like. It's not even really pain. It's soreness in parts, but mostly just a sense of just stiffness. Things are kind of tied up in there. I also need to go, and I'm hoping when I go schedule an appointment, go see my doctor, he'll just get this in motion for me. I've never been to a chiropractor before, ever. I've never been to a massage therapist. Anybody that sticks their fingers into you, that's not how I meant that to come out. Anybody that, works, there's no clean way to describe it. But I'm almost 38 and I've never been to one of those people before. And I have not great posture. When you are a kid that goes through high school like this the whole time, you're setting yourself up for failure. So I feel like I need to go see someone to mess with me. I hear all these stories. I hear the stories about people that are like, oh, I went to like this person and it didn't help at all. Don't waste your time going to this person. Chiropractors are a scam. Maybe some are, but I'm just saying, I've never had anybody like correct me physically. I've had plenty of people correct me verbally. I literally, for a couple of years, I think worked with somebody who did this for a living. I should have been like, hey, let's set up an appointment, see? And, and I hear these stories about people that develop, pain in their joints in various areas and stiffness and soreness. And I don't want to become one of those people that just kind of develops stiffness in certain areas and then it just never goes away and you kind of sit on it. Doesn't help anything. Okay, so we are practically entering into Sellwood. I'm going to want to get off the main drag because I don't want to be live streaming a whole bunch with a bunch of cars and people around. It's awkward. Ooh, that's unfortunate. So, might branch off a bit. If there's any cool historic buildings, I'll show them. I stumbled onto one story of possible interest that I might just tell briefly. It's where the tracks cross. Is that a big train car down there? I wonder. Now I kind of want to go check that out. Ooh. Happy Halloween. It's only like 28 days away. There's Killer Burger dead ahead over there. That's the first Killer Burger I ever went to. And literally when I finished and left, I remember me and my friend, like the burger literally killed us. I remember us walking out and we walked to this intersection and we went down this side street because we parked like half a block down. And the whole walk, we were just like grabbing our stomachs like, oh my God. Just had a kid pass me, and I got to remember that there is an elementary school over here. So, I mean, it's like almost 4. I don't think there's kids out and about. Or, I mean, having just left school, but just got to be prepared, because you don't want people's kids popping up on y'all's live stream. And these are all dead-end streets. They look like there was an actual train car on the tracks. And these tracks don't really get used that often. So I'm just curious what that could be. It looked like it was about maybe 3 blocks down. By the way, I love Sellwood. Absolutely in my top 5 places I would live in Portland specifically. You know how once you get off the main street, do you know how quiet it is? And all of the, and the redevelopment has infiltrated the area, but not anywhere near as bad as other places. It's interesting how the places where it costs more to live haven't been as infiltrated by developers. Could it be that they can't make as big of a profit off of buying more expensive homes? I don't know. You tell me. Okay, I don't see it down there. Maybe the next block down. I'm just curious because it looks like there's a big car on the tracks. So I'm just like, is it? Or is it just something stored beside the tracks? We're getting this deep. You're really started feeling the autumnal vibes the last week. But this is good autumn. This is autumn where it's still dry and 60 something. This is heavenly autumn. This is the autumn that we love. And there's some coloration shift happening early on. This is 15th place. Am I gonna be able to see it down here? Well, no, because there's a bunch of brush down there. Actually, I want to go down here. It looks like some old fencing. Probably have someone come out and be like, "Excuse me, what are you doing at the end of our street?" Be like, I'm documenting my town. I already see a car stopped in the middle of the intersection behind me. They're probably gonna drive down and be like, "Excuse me, can you tell me what you're doing?" I'm just curious. I don't think you can get in. Not that I would want to. I'm just curious if this is some old gate stuff. I'm sure people are very... Oh, no, it's not. It's just... there is a fence buried in here. But... Yeah, no, that isn't what I thought it was. Okay, never mind. I tried. Yeah, whatever that thing is, I don't know if it could also be on blocks, or it could be on a stretch between blocks, so... Oh, we got some skeletons. What's up, boys? How you doing? There's a monkey mask in the bushes. Okay, well, back at it. I've been going for about 19 minutes. Whoa, get out of my face, bug. I may periodically stop. More than anything, if I walk into an area that's crowded, I may pause since I'm trying to do this and there'll be a lot of distractions, but also to periodically check my battery life. Because first couple of times I did one of these, I made it almost an hour on 80% battery life, and then that was it. I could do about an hour. Then one day I had my battery at about 90, and I vlogged for about almost an hour, but I still had 40% battery life. So it's kind of unpredictable. And I was at about 90% when I started this live stream. So as much as I want to take in my surroundings, I don't want to dilly-dally too much because I do have limited time. That's the thing about these live streams. I can't just, and if you pause for too long, sometimes you can pull it back up and it'll be like, do you want to resume your thing where you left off? But also, Sometimes it won't. Sometimes it'll just end it for you, which I don't want. And then also I'm leaving you hanging for a while. What's that sound? There's a sound over here. Hello, sun. Is that an RV? Not an RV, but like a trailer. Somebody, oh. Hello, bird. Birds. Plural. I don't know if you could see that. The sun may have been blotting them out. So I'm gonna try to just, you know me, I've been on here long enough. If you follow my channel, you know, when little random health things that I don't know 100% what's going on, you know, I get kind of fixated. Happened with my headaches, which I found out was just dry eye. I mean, there was an understandable reason when I got fibro, because that was literally just completely impairing me. You know, try not to worry so much about that stuff. I don't like the fact that I have lingering stiffness in my back and upper neck, but it's not adversely affecting me. S. Simonson. Are you related to Brandon Simonson? AKA like my best friend in 2nd grade. So yeah, you know, I try to become more accepting of the best thing you can do is try not to stress and monitor. You know, I mean, I shouldn't be too stressed because, again, I'm not really having pain. I'm just having stiffness, and I still have full range of motions. You know, I've popped my back a few times. I'm also not used to having neck and upper back strain that bugs me more than like a day. You know, you sleep funny or something like that. So I think a lot of it's something I'm not used to. So I'm like, well, what the shit is that? By the way, what the shit is that? I love this it's like an old power station, but it's like mint green. Violators will be towed at owner's expense. Okay, well, hope that truck there has a reason to be here. The Sellwood substation. Hazardous voltage inside, I would think so. But yeah, I love. It's made out of these old blocks, and I don't think this is really being used for. Maybe it is, I don't know. But I don't really think it's being used much for anything anymore. Yeah, so OWP and R county or company substation 1905. So Oregon Water Power and Rail. I don't know exactly what the company is. It's one of those old companies. You know, now everything's PGE. But yeah, this one is a doozy. Also, can I see down the tracks at whatever the heck I thought I saw? Yeah, there it is. It's a train car of some kind. I don't know what or why. There's just a random train car over there. But there's just a random car. I just thought maybe it was an older one. It was unlikely, but I just thought, I'll give it a look. But, you know, where I fail there, I succeed here because there's 2 old cars here. There used to be, well, the building's still down there. There's the old clubhouse for the street cars that pass through here. And I think they turned and came through on here. And I don't know how old these cars are. They're just kind of here on the side rail for display. So here's one car, the green car, then the blue car. Golf Junction Park. Can't wait. That's right, because the golf course is on the other side of this. So is this considered a park? It's like you can't even walk your dog through here. Alright, so yeah, so there's that substation. One kind of wide view. And yeah, if you go down this way, I've gone this way in previous videos, so I may want to turn tail and go another way. so I'm not just covering the same ground. Look at that over there on that rail. I don't know what that is, but it's impressive, and it's got the one like chair on the back. I don't know what these things are supposed to be. Anyway. But yeah, I can just do a pass by the clubhouse and then maybe start veering. Just veering eastbound. What the hell is this? What is that? It's like a little collage that someone put up on the tree. But like, why? What is that? Who is that? Is that looks Elvis-y from here? What is that? Is that? I don't know. It's like a. Oh, it's a Morrissey. Oh my god. Why did somebody build something to friggin'? That's. Are you? It's a Morrissey collage stuck on this tree. You've got to be kidding me. Why? Like, I like the Smiths as much as the next person, but Morrissey is like a horrible person. Like, terrible. And I mean beyond the whole, like, him being like an unreliable concert performer. I guess he shows up late to his concerts all the time, or sometimes just doesn't show up, but like, yeah, he's like, his politics are just fascist as hell from what I last understood, which is unfortunate considering so many people that are more like alternative and perceivably liberal love. I haven't really heard much of his solo stuff, so I can't really say much about that, but most people love the Smiths, and it's too bad their lead singer is a scumbag. I don't know why that's there. This is kind of cool. Old relic. If you look off down there in the brush, it's one of those little signaling things. Yeah, and then right over here is the old clubhouse, which it's just being used for other businesses now. I forget the year this place was built. I mean, it's a clubhouse for streetcars, so obviously it's not super new. But yeah, this is the old, the streetcars would come through here, and there was even a car barn where a lot of these apartments are. And that's where they park a lot of the cars at night, so it makes sense that this would be here. All right. Where do I go to now? There are people that work in there, so I don't want to flash my camera too much on them, although, you work in a historic building, you should expect that. Much as I said I didn't want to do this, I feel like I'm walking like right towards the area where like the elementary school is. Neighborhood watch. They're watching me. I'd be watching you too if I knew where you were at. But yeah, there's lots of old historic, I mean obviously homes, but even buildings, the occasional historic buildings, you see them pop up. And I say that because I'm pretty sure this blue building with the white frames is a pretty old structure over here. I'm guessing it's like an apartment house. I mean, that's what it looks like. But yeah, you can tell this is definitely I've gone that way in previous videos. It's so nice and quiet over here. I kind of just want to hang out for a while. Get a view down the street. Hopefully you can see. Uh-oh. says Swift House. That's where like the Swifties that live in town congregate. It's a pretty nice house. They're everywhere. Now I hear kids yelling, probably because I'm getting too damn close to the school. I'm gonna veer off. This is Clatsop, 11th and Clatsop. Got some street art here. Not too shabby. I'm going for it. I wonder if they got any of those horse rings in Sellwood. There's a lot of, on curbs, there's a lot of rings in the curbstone where people would tie their horses to. Is there a bug on me? Ah, son of a bitch. Right, and as I vlog, I'm trying to maintain good posture. I feel like I did a pretty good job. This is beautiful, by the way. I feel like I did a pretty good job stretching and whatnot, and when I went to bed, I was feeling all right, but I feel like I slept real stiff, or just real hard, too, because I woke up and just, like, everything was sore. You know, when you wake up, and it's like, geez, did I sleep in a bathtub last night? So, there's that. Oh man, newer house over here. Same thing. I don't know. There's Halloween decor in front of it, but there's also a porta potty in front of it. So I get the feeling they may be finishing construction of this house over here. Oh. You hate to see it. Neglected basketball hoop. Oh, and bumpers. Oh. Rough. Alright. Okay, this is 13th. Now 13th is kind of a main drag street, but it's got some history along it as well. Let's meander up 13th a spell. And this is where my mom used to work. In fact, she used to take the 34 bus that I think sometimes would hook off. And it's so funny because it's not the 34 anymore, but you know, bus routes change. And I think it took her, sometimes it took her down 17, sometimes it took her down 13th. And I know now it's the 70, and sometimes it goes down 17th, and sometimes it goes down 13th. I'm going to need to monitor that because I'm going to have to catch the bus going home. Or actually, I don't know, I think they altered it again. So now, like a certain stretch where it was on 13th, it's not anymore. I don't know. I don't know why I even try. And there's a few kind of newer structures here, so they are peppered in from time to time. And I know buildings of historic significance, they have these particular, I think they're like wood plaques. Like I just passed a house with one, but literally it was like right in front of the house. I wasn't gonna stop and start filming their house. And I know, I'm wondering if because me and my wife walked through here, but it was like at least 6 months ago. And there was a building that looked like it was pretty old, probably pretty historic, but probably gonna get demoed pretty soon. How is this lady doing up here? There's a lady and she's just a loitering. I'm actually gonna cross, not just to avoid whatever that is, but also because it's practical. Might be able to get a better view. Oh yeah, this is, what is this, 13th and Harmony. This has definitely got to be an old historic building. And this one I know this is I think an old bank building. Now there's a salon in there and a desk depository. What the hell is a desk deposit? Is that literally just a place where people dump off their old desks? It's a beautiful building though if you look at it. It's a beaut. And old, it's in pretty great shape. I think, is this that place where this used to be like a pie place? And it closed, and it looks like they're doing a lot of work on it. Yeah. Yeah, you can see there's a sign way over there. First Bank of Sellwood. Of course, First Bank of and First Bank in are two vastly different things. So yeah, there's still a handful of these cool historical buildings along. I mean, I feel like 17th and Milwaukee are equally as traveled, but I still feel like 13th definitely has the older, more historic Sellwood main drag vibe to it. This has got to be an old one too. Oh yeah, and I forgot this. So this is the historic fire station. Fire station number 20, built 1920. That's either intentional or coincidental. And Antique Row is what this stretch is called. But this is what's particularly cool, is that this is an old chunk from the railing of the old Sellwood Bridge, which desperately needed to be replaced when it was. A very old bridge, and this is a chunk of the railing that you'd cling to because every little car that passed you would gyrate the whole thing and you'd think you were going in the river at any moment. And there's this building across the street, which definitely has to be an older one. And this has got to be it. This has a very general store vibe. I love the old around the sides of the windows. And this is the building. It's still here. But this is the building that me and my wife walked by months ago and thought, man, this is gonna get demoed real quick. Okay, just gotta figure out how to get across the street here. It's at the center of traffic. There was just a horrible musty smell coming out of this place. I don't think this one's. I can smell it from here. I can smell the must emanating. And yeah, it's all black mold. Like, look at that. You can see the mold on the wall. Yeah, nothing's happened. This looks exactly the same as it did months ago. They're just letting this thing rot. But you can just see it's so just obliterated in there. Oh, never mind. This is a historic building. Stewart Building and Morris Meat Market. So this was a meat market once upon a time. It did not get a 1906 vibe from that place. Yep, and then my mom worked right up here at the Sellwood Peddler when it existed, before it was the cat. Well, now it's the cat and dog hospital. That's nice. And over here, this Columbia Sportswear building, that used to be an old movie theater. So, so I'm gonna cross and go down a block, come around the backside. Just shifted it up for a second because there was like a group of kids coming towards me. But yeah, my mom worked at this place. There was a brief period where she wasn't working there, but between like 1992 and 2002, 2003-ish. Yeah, see where it says Cat and Dog Hospital over there? That's like the back side of the building. It was like you had the main part of the antique store, and then there was just this massive room in the back where I swear they just threw a bunch of shit on top of each other. And like, you could go back in there, but everything was just so disorganized. My mom's boss was kind of disorganized, if we're gonna be honest. And yeah, she worked there. Again, there's a brief period where she stopped, and then went back. Over the course of a decade, most of that period, she was working there. And, sometimes my dad would pick her up and I'd go in. And there was a couple times where, when I was younger, I would go and, like, if it was the summer or winter break, I think it was usually summer, because I remember it just sweltering in there, I would go to work with my mom. She was bored. Because, I'm like a 9, 10-year-old kid. And I am like, you give the store a few walk-arounds, but you pretty much cover the whole store in like 30, 40 minutes. What are you going to do with the other 6+ hours of time? So I would just get so stinking bored and just try to. They had like a computer in there. This would have been the 90s, so it was probably a pretty janky computer. I don't even think they really used it, because I remember it was kind of just open to be used by me. So obviously business-wise, they weren't using it for anything. And there'd be like some games on there, and I'd play that for 30 minutes and get just bored as hell again. Nowadays I take advantage of that time. But we're talking about, 25, 30 years difference in development. So, try to switch. So this is Spokane. So I'm coming in from the backside. We're at 41 minutes, so I am gonna have to pause pretty soon and just check my battery life. And yeah, hopefully if I'm feeling okay, I'll do this again on Saturday in lieu of a video. So is that real caution tape? Because this house is giving vacant vibes. Oh no, there's 2 bloodstained hands on there. That's definitely... Oh, and they've got stuff on the... Okay, so that is Halloween. Like, I don't think it's real because it just says caution. But, you have the police line, do not cross, if it's real. But when I looked at the house, I was like, the vibes are very abandoned to me. And I'd like to know why. And also this building up here, which is now a tavern, also used to be a theater. The old Leipzig tavern sign. This was called the Star Theater, of which there was another Star Theater. Or there is another Star Theater north of downtown. And yeah, that door back there, that little door in the corner, that's where my mom would go to work each day. I just realized there's an employee sitting there, but she seemed distracted by her phone. I love this, that they've put this. I like that this is becoming more of a common thing in Portland too. Because it's just cool, but also this is one of the worst intersections. You couldn't do a turn. You couldn't do a turn here, which didn't make any sense if you were coming up to the busy street. Okay, you bitches gonna let me cross? Yeah, we're just... Good. About to give one to the finger. Am I still here? Alright, no worries, I'm still here. As I was crossing the street, like this horde of kids started showing up. They were here. I saw a bunch of them, and I was just like, I just have to shut the stream off for a second. Again, I will proactively, if there's kids, families, obviously if I'm just doing this by myself, but there was just kids everywhere. Oh, I think there's like a bunch of kids yelling. It's probably like a daycare, school, something. Hello? Okay, I'm back, and I think I'm okay. Yes, there's a place called Sellwood Community House back there. So yeah, there was a lot of kids there. So I had to get past that. I didn't even know that was there. So I think I'm okay now. Anyway, all I was trying to say was that intersection back there that's now got the benches and whatnot for the eatery, which me and my wife went there a couple months ago, and it was pretty good. But yeah, that intersection that now is filled up by that was really not safe. And when you came out, you couldn't do, you literally had to go straight. You couldn't do a right turn, which didn't make any sense. I think they were trying to keep traffic from building up because the next block down is kind of an intersection that can get stopped up. But it's like, so you had to go straight. Or you had to turn left, which was even more dangerous because you had to cross traffic to turn, but you couldn't do a general right turn. My mom got pulled over once for doing it. She had no idea that you weren't allowed to do that because it made so little sense. So yeah. So I'm glad that they pretty much just obliterated that as even an option. So it's just food there, because that was stupid. I think it's the last time my mom got ticketed was in relation to that. Like, so dumb. And yeah, there's a no right turn sign there, so you should know, but it doesn't even compute with me to even think that would be a thing. Anyway, so I got about 35% battery life left, so I'll probably stream for another, I don't know. I mean, I'll probably make it to about an hour and then cut it. I need to have enough to get home. In terms of just, also, my thighs were a bit chafy. Man, wonder what used to be here. There's like a big old chunk of nothing. Anyway. It may have honestly just been a couple houses, because it looks like the divots in the ground are about small house size. Because it's just such a big space, I thought, I don't know, maybe there's a big old building that got torn down. All right, so this is 17th, or is this Milwaukee? Actually, no, Milwaukee doesn't start yet. And you go down, God, that smells good. Whatever that food is, it smells damn good. All right, this is gonna be hard to cross. All right. Sun's a-shining, dogs are barking. I never go down this way. I'm gonna go down this way and then keep meandering north, but I'm gonna stay in this vicinity because 17th, that's where the bus comes through. So I don't want to get too far away from that, because once I'm done streaming, I don't want to just be loitering around. And this is probably, and it's not even bad down here, but when you get between McLaughlin down there, well, actually, I forget the park is down. Eastmoreland Park is down here. Yeah, I always forget that. I could literally walk down here, circle around, go back up, cross over, and then get on the orange line and take it. Because I'd have to just get on the 70 and then switch to the 33 anyway, so there would be a switch. Maybe I just should take the orange line, because I'm only going to be able to go for another about 15 minutes. What street am I on? I know Bybee's the north end of this whole thing. And I'm at 19th and Spokane. Spokane. Or Spokane. That's what I called it as a kid. Okay, looks like the road just wraps around. Oh, I kind of know where I am now. You're gonna... Oh. Oh, man, maybe I need to do some running again. Just that little jog was tweaking and tugging at my... Not my heartstrings, but my back strings. So... Yeah. Well, and also, I would assume, I know I looked it up online, and they're like, it is normal to have like lingering discomfort while you're readjusting your posture, which I'm trying to alter like 30 plus years of bad posturing habits. Well, maybe not plus, but it just seems to me, and I'm no medical professional, it just seems to me, if you have like the same posture issues for a couple decades, that wouldn't just recover. Oh, kitty. Hello, kitty. Hello. Oh, hello. Hi. Oh, hi there. Oh, is this a new friend? Is this a friend? Hi. Hi there. Hi there. Hi. Is this your friend? Is your friend? Oh, you got a good coat. That is a good coat for a kitty. That is a good coat. Nice to meet you. Cat's like, where the hell are you going? We were vibing. It's nice to meet you. Good. Cat's not following me. I think the cat lives at that house right there, so don't have to worry about, you don't want a cat chasing you. And I also crossed the street because I saw a kid step out on the sidewalk right in front of me on the other side of the street, so I'm evading children left and right. I mean, I am in a residential area. Yeah, there's like a little path that goes back through here, and you get to kind of walk along this, like, pond. Yeah, so there's like a little path, and then you can see the pond here, and signboard for the wildlife. I'm wondering, this probably goes into the park. Hey, you. Look at you, you're just coming right up to me. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. Okay, good, that cat's staying there. That cat is vibing, that cat is flopped on its side. Good afternoon. Pleasure to meet you. I was thinking you're coming to say hi, but I see like younger ducklings there, and I'm wondering if you're just here for protection. Hello. Well, it was a pleasure. Yeah. I feel like that was more protection than anything. Yeah, so I'm gonna try to make it to the park. I actually don't even really know the streets through here. I know eventually you'll get to streets that can cut over to the park, but for now the little pond is kind of stopping me. Unless Nahalem. Okay, Nahalem. Does Nahalem go through? Maybe? Crystal Shores Apartments. Peaceful creekside living. But the creek doesn't actually go through here, so you're just lying. Okay, yeah, so this does go through. Okay, actually, no, I guess the creek does cut through under here, but are we really gonna, like, God, I can't even imagine how expensive this home is. Have this creek in its backyard. So it does go through behind the apartment, so I guess you could say it's creekside living, but that's a bit of an exaggeration, if you ask me. It's like, oh, there's a little creek. Actually, no, that is kind of cool. I just looked back there, and there's like, the people's balconies are actually like over the water. It's okay, fine. I guess that is kind of cool. I'm only going this way because I'm here, and a video that I'm working on and will hopefully have done sometime up the road, sometime between now and Christmas. Let's narrow it down to that. Okay, so yeah, this is actually, yeah, so here's where the park is, over here. And yeah, when I'm done, I can just backtrack that way up and get on the Max at the Tacoma Street stop. I remember walking through here at night between buses back when I used to take the buses to, it was pretty much while I was living at the church. And I'd walk through here at night, and it would be so seedy. Which is interesting, because this is the other side of that Crystal Springs place. And yeah, it would just be... And there was always a couple, like, cars parked here that you knew people were sleeping in. And there would be just some odd people in the bushes over here, and... it would just be kind of odd, kind of goofy. But yeah, I don't want to venture too far into the park because I do need to backtrack, but right around the corner here, we got to be getting close to Lambert Street. There's a house related to again, this video that I'm doing that I'll hopefully have done before too long. And it's right around, I'm not going to go there because I'm running out of time. But right around the corner and like down a block, in fact, I think it's just the other side of that building there, is a house that a woman named Mabel Fluke lived in. And Mabel Fluke was one of 3 women murdered in about a 2.5 day period of time in the Portland area. And their murders have been credited to a particular infamous serial killer, and I'm doing a video about that. And actually, because I came out here and I took video of the houses on the site, because one of the houses is gone, but 2 of the 3 houses are still here. They were almost brand new when these events happened, because this was late 20s, and yeah, so I came out, and that was a long, that may have been like a year ago that I went out and did that, knowing I was going to be doing this video, and I'm finally actively, I've got it up there to be worked on. So that's going to be forthcoming at some point, and if I had more time, like, there was even a little story I was going to cover, but I'd have to go like at least 10 more blocks down that way and then kind of backtrack a little. And now that I've decided where I'm going to go, that's not very practical. But anyway, always up behind me and over, like right off that direction, would have been the vicinity of 17th and Malden. And there was a guy named Ralph. God, now I've forgotten his name. I think Moeller was his last name. Don't hold me to that. Not Ralph Meeker. Ralph Meeker was an actor. Okay, I think I have to go through here and then backtrack. I'm gonna pause for a second. I gotta figure out my mapping situation. I'll be right back. That makes sense. Oh. Okay, so, so I just hit 20%. I'm back, just hit 20% on my battery, so I'm gonna have to cut it next, like, 5 minutes. But literally, I'm gonna wrap around, take a right, then climb up over Tacoma, and then catch the max. But yeah, there was a guy named, and it's one of these stories where if there was a little more substance to it, I would give it its own video. It's just kind of a weird and depressing story. But there's this guy named Ralph. Again, I think Moeller was his last name. And he had a wife, Grace, and they lived just off 17th and Malden here in Sellwood. And apparently Grace was, as Ralph put it, Grace was one of those wives that was never happy, never satisfied. He would just break his back to try to appease her. He bought her a new car, which this is like the 1910s. So I'm like, you buy your wife a car in like that era? That's insane. But he did. He tried doing all this shit to appease his wife, and she just was never satisfied. And maybe the guy should have just said fuck it and left. But I mean, it also was a time where you were frowned upon for divorce, and especially if you were a man, you were less of a man if you couldn't make your marriage work. So I think some of that masculine bullshit played a part. And so, stressed beyond his means, he starts trying to rob banks. And he actually tried to rob 2 banks in Sellwood. And that first Bank of Sellwood building that I saw may have been one of the ones he tried to rob, because it would have been around at the time. Also, I think this is really cool. This has been just kind of vacant land for a while, but there's still like an old sign here from the business that used to be here, which if you go to like 2007, 2009 Google Map imagery, I think you can still see what was here, but whatever it was, it is long gone. And it would have been filling this space. Anyway, so Ralph goes out and starts trying to rob banks, and one night he tries to rob a bank. He knocks out and ties up a janitor, and he eventually gets busted, but he only gets busted a few days later, and less than 2 days after he has this aborted second effort at robbing a bank. He's got to be feeling pretty shitty. It seems like there's nothing he can do to appease his wife anymore, and he's just over the moon. Even when he was interviewed, well, I can't say that part because that gives it all away, but he less than 48 hours after his messed up second effort, his wife reportedly commits suicide by drinking carbolic acid, which is a horrible way to go. And neighbors said that around the time she died, they saw him creeping out of the house. So I'm not fully convinced he didn't just snap and kill her and then pour poison down her to make it look like that's what happened, or even forcing her into position and forcing her to drink it. Just, I was never good enough for you. But it was deemed in the end that she had committed suicide, but I mean, how could you know? How could you know for certain that she poured that acid down her throat and it wasn't her husband forcing her? I don't know. So he never got in trouble, but, the guy kind of had a motive. He was seen leaving the house around the time it happened, and even afterward, he had really no adverse emotional reaction. He pretty much just said, with how she treated me, I don't really care, and I'm done with women, essentially what the guy said. So he also had no real sense of grief, which even if you were with someone who treated you horribly, the sudden realization that they've died in such a horrible way would still hit you a little bit, even if you hated them by that point. So it's a little strange, if you ask me. That's all I'm gonna say. I guess I cross up here. This is chaos. I'm gonna die. Oh my God, you cannot be serious. I see the max right over the horizon, which means I'm gonna miss the max by probably a minute. God damn it. This is time I don't have. Come on. Oh, hallelujah. Oh, God, I'm not in a position to run. I don't know, maybe this will be good for me. And at least I can run. It's more a stair workout. I'm pretty sure I saw the max leaving the Bybee station gas can. And I know the stop is right around the corner here. Oh my God, the stop is right over there. I should be able to make it. And I bought a pass on the bus, so I don't even have to worry about pulling my thing out and tapping it. Hopefully this view isn't making it too dizzy. Okay. Hopefully the max wasn't going the other way. Well, is that a sign? Oh. Maybe? Nope, someone going the other way. Should have known. It says orange line to Milwaukee, 1 minute though. That's a good run though. Will you look at that? I was right. Okay. Oh boy. It was worth the run, I guess. That's a lot of people. Alright, well, thank you for stopping by.